Hello, how are you today? I hope you're all well. I hope God has kept you just fine. Yeah, in this lockdown, yeah. So, today I would like to talk about how to make an effective budget. Yeah. Do you ever budget your funds, or the moment they come in, you just spend, as you wish without budgeting it? Yeah. So today we're going to see how we can budget, and probably we could try it out and see if it works for us. Yeah. So what is budgeting? Um, Budgeting mainly refers to allocating of money for a particular purpose. Yeah, maybe you're allocating it to expenses, maybe you're allocating it to savings, or tithing or investment, different purposes. Yeah, so today we're going to see how we could budget our money, and hopefully it could be able to help us. Yeah, so what are some of the advantages of budgeting your money? What are some of the advantages of allocating your money to a particular purpose? One is you're able to manage your finances. Yeah, you're able to manage money and spend it in a proper way. Yes, you're able to spend it on the things that are important. Yeah, because sometimes people just spend money the moment they get it, they buy everything they want, and then later they realize that maybe they didn't spend wisely. Some things maybe that were more important were left out, and things that were less important is what they spent their money on. So when you have a budget, it helps you to manage your finances, and yeah, you're able to spend it in a proper manner. Budgeting also helps us to plan for the future. Maybe you'd want to buy a plot of land in the future. Maybe you want to invest into something that will enable you earn more money. Yeah, when you make a budget, it helps you with that. Yeah, and then um, budgeting also helps us to prioritize what is important. Yeah, we are able to prioritize things that are important, and we spend on those things that are important. Yeah, and also it helps us to look out for opportunities to invest, and then we are able to invest on those particular opportunities because we've set aside probably some money for investing. So when the opportunity comes, we grab it. Yeah, it doesn't pass us by, because if it finds you when you've not had some money aside, of course you'll not be able to take up on it like someone who has budgeted and put some money aside. Yeah, so there's a rule called the 70-20-10 budget rule. Yeah, 70-20-10 rule. Yeah, so this rule mainly states that you spend 70% of your money. 70% is spent on expenses. Yeah, expenses, maybe rent, maybe school fees for your children, and other utilities. Yeah, so 70% of your whole income goes to expenses. Then 20% of your income goes to savings and investment. So 20% can go to savings and investment. You could use that 20%, use some of it as savings and another portion as investment, because it's very important for us to have some savings. Maybe something could come up in the future, saving for rainy days like the pandemic. It was very important for us to have some savings aside to take us through such tough times. Yeah, and also you need to save in case of anything that happens in the future. Maybe it's a hospital bill, maybe it's something that you didn't expect. Yeah, it's important for us to have savings, of which we can use some of it to invest on something that helps us to earn more. Yeah. Then the 10 um, is a percentage. The 70 is a percentage, 20 is a percentage, and the 10 is a percentage. Yeah? The 10% goes to tithing. Yeah, tithing is very important. I shared earlier in a video about tithing, the benefits and the blessings that come with tithing. You take 10% to the house of God. Yeah, 10% to the house of God. It actually, when you get your money, your salary, that is the first thing you should take off. Don't play around the tithe. Take it immediately to the house of God, such that you don't forget and then use it and then you miss out on God's blessing. So 10% is the tithe, yeah? That is the 70, 20, and 10 budget rule, yeah? So it's a rule that we could apply to help us with our budgeting. It's simple. You just work it out as percentages of your total income. So for us to be able to apply that rule, we need to add up all the income that we have, yeah? Maybe it's a salary income and you add income from your side businesses. I know many people have side hustles, side things that you do on top of your job. Maybe it's another business that you have which is separate from your job. So you get all the money from those different sources and you add it up together so that you know how much you have, and then you'll be able to allocate it, yeah? So we're adding up our income and you see how much you have, yeah? Then the next thing you do is see how you're going to spend it, yeah? How are you going to spend that income, yeah? Maybe you're going to spend it on expenses, and what expenses will you be having? It could be rent, it could be utilities, electricity, water, it could be fees, it could be insurance, it could be food, different things, or transport, yeah? So you know your expenses and list them down and know that, okay, these are the expenses that I have on which I'll have to spend the 70%, yeah? Then the other category is savings, yeah? You'll need to put aside some money for savings, yeah? That is where the 20% will be allocated. Savings and investments. So on the 20%, you can put it on an account and keep it there, and you save a portion, maybe half of it, another portion you invest it. So what are some of the things you could invest it in? Maybe you're saving it up to buy a plot of land, or you could invest it in treasury bills and bonds, or invest it in a fixed account, mainly something that is going to be able to bring in some more money, yeah, to bring in some more money. So that is the 20%. Then the other part where you'll spend it is the tithing, where the 10% goes. Tithing, the moment you get your salary, I don't joke around tithe, because if I start uh, joking around it, I end up even forgetting. Maybe you say, I'll pay it later or what. No, it's the first thing I take, such that I don't forget and such that I don't miss out on that blessing that God has for me, yeah? So make sure you take your tithe to the house of God, yeah? Yeah, so you see what you need to spend your money on, and then the other thing you need to do is divide up your income, yeah? You divide it up, the tithe, you know that 10% will go to the tithe, yeah? Savings, you divide up the 20%. For example, you're earning a salary of 1 million shillings after tax and all that. You know that 10%, that's 100,000, will go to church. And then you know that 20%, I'll put it on an account. This will be for saving and investment. 20% is 200,000. Then the 700,000 is the one that goes to expenses, yeah? So sometimes we overspend, yeah? You see something and you just want to buy it. So when you overspend, you end up entering into, you even exceed the 70% and you enter into the 20%. Budgeting needs us to be disciplined and know that, okay, the tithe for it, I took it, I no longer have it. The 20% is on the account. Then I only have the 70% left to use around, yeah. So that is a 70-20-10 rule for budgeting, yeah. Once you're disciplined, it's very simple. You can be able to allocate your funds such that you don't just misuse or mishandle money anyhow, yes. So for us to be able to also apply it effectively, we need to reduce on our expenses. Sometimes there are things that you buy and you don't need. There are people who have like closets full of clothes, some of which they've even never worn, but then you find the person is out there shopping more clothes. Your closet is full, but you want to add more because you want the latest, the trending ones. Some of that we can cut it out, such that we end up not overspending our money on things that are not important. Yeah, you could wear what you have, and maybe if there's some that you don't wear anymore, you can give it out. You can give it out at churches. There are places where they collect clothing, shoes, things that people no longer use, but they are presentable, they can still be worn, and they give them to needy people, yeah. So you could maybe do that if you feel like adding on, but buying more when you still have a full closet is extravagant spending, yeah. Then you probably need to plan your meals at home. You could buy in bulk such that you save. Sometimes when you buy like you're buying a whole sack, it's much cheaper than someone who buys in small quantities, yeah. Then you could also cut out on some unnecessary subscriptions that you don't use. Maybe you're at work the whole day, and some of that subscription you may not need it, so you can cut it out, yeah, such that we can reduce on our spending, yeah. Then some of the ways in which we can earn more money is by negotiating a raise, maybe at work. Probably you've done a master's. Initially you had a degree, but then you've added on a master's. You can talk to your boss and tell them that you've added on your qualification, and you can negotiate a raise with them, and I believe they'll be able to understand and give it to you, so that way you can be able to increase on your income, yeah. Then you can have a side business, yeah, side hustle. Personally, I do baking on the side. You can have something. Some people have shops where they sell maybe clothing or all bags or shoes. You can have something you do on the side to help you earn income as you also work on your job. Or you can have someone to be there, maybe your cousin, to sit there and help you with it, such that you can earn some extra income, yeah. So another way you can earn extra income is by working more hours. If your job is flexible and you can work more hours, you can do that, and that way you can be able to increase on your income. So if you can find ways of increasing income on top of your salary, on top of your business, yeah, that would help you earn more, yeah. Such that you save more, and or you invest more, and then also you can cut down on some expenses that are not necessary, yeah. Then that way we'll be able to spend our money in the right way, yeah. So I encourage each of us to start budgeting. In case you were not budgeting before, it will help you. It will be very much useful, yeah. You'll be able to allocate your funds, and you'll be able to get opportunities to invest because you have your money that you've been budgeting and setting aside, yeah. And you also have an increase in your savings, yeah, savings for the future, savings for rainy days, like how the pandemic hit us and some people had to lose their jobs. Others, their businesses were not bringing in as much, Yeah, so when we have our savings on the side, it helps us in such times. So I encourage each and every one of us to always have your budget every month and have discipline to follow through it, and then we'll be able to spend effectively. Yes. Thank you for listening to me. That is what I had to share. Bye bye. God bless you.